So in my last video, I just got done completing an overview of why you should consider working with an agency instead of working direct with a company. So check that video out if you want more information on that. But one of the biggest reasons I think that it's smart to work with an insurance agency is because the most important factor beyond your motivation, willingness to work, and that is number one. The second most important factor is actually having a system in place that puts you in front of prospects on a consistent basis, and then having the training to render yourself effective in front of your prospects. My name is Dave Duford at davidduford.com, where we help insurance agents like you become top producers. And in today's video, I'm going to speak specifically to you new agents to help you understand why it's so important that when you get started selling insurance, that you have to find a way to lock yourself into a process, a system that sends you prospects on a consistent basis and helps you close them. See, it's not enough just to be licensed. You're probably excited because you just got recently licensed, or you have a license, you've studied this test, you passed the test, congratulations. Well, now the real work starts, okay? All a licensing process is to vet out the people who care enough to be something. Well, now the next step to actually becoming something, that you close people, that you get sales, that you help people out with their life insurance needs or any insurance needs, requires a process of behavioral human understanding to be able to educate, build trust, and to show them options in a way that is non-threatening, that measurably is able to show them that you can help them by buying this product increase their overall happiness as it relates to whatever their insurance problems are, and then locking yourself into some kind of marketing system that sends you these people predictably on a consistent basis. One thing I wanted to cover in this video is why often so many people fail. You know, I wrote a couple books, if you see behind me, and one of those books is the interviews with top producing insurance agents, where I interview top producing insurance agents. And one of the key factors you'll find behind all of them is they have a system to predictably bring them leads. And what I found working with agents over the years, hundreds and hundreds of agents since 2013 or so, is that the biggest reason why many of them fail is because they don't see people predictably enough. They don't have a lead system set up. In many cases, the great thing is you think a lot of people have problems selling people. It's not the case. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Many people I deal with and have talked to are great closers. They do a good job helping clients out and helping them buy a product that best fits what their goals are. Problem is, they just don't get in front of enough people. And a lot of people just lose out in this business, not because they don't have the capability to sell, but they don't have the capability to consistently sell, to consistently stay in front of people. So what are the elements of a strong insurance sales system? So I got 4 different points I want to hit here. And again, the goal here is for you new agents to really embrace what it really takes to be successful, because it's not knowing 100 different objection rebuttals. It's not, not even necessarily some advanced, never before experienced sales presentation. It's fundamentals. It's just like a sport. It's running, batting, and ends. It's about getting out there and doing the fundamentals really well. So let's talk about those fundamentals. Number one is you have to have a lead generation system and training approach to that system. So what system is it? Well, there's not necessarily a magical system, all right? The key is a system that predictably brings you prospects. It can be cold calling, all right? Yes, you may not like it, but that's fine. But there are ways you can cold call on a predictable basis with a system that you know that if you approach 15 businesses, you'll get 5 presentations and you'll make 1 sale. That is a scalable business model, and it's something that's predictable, and that's a system. So a system is something where you have inputs and you get outputs, and that you can do on a consistent basis. Another way is referral generation. You know that if you do so many presentations and ask for so many referrals or introductions, it puts you in front of more people. What I teach many of my agents is that they don't want to cold call and they don't have anybody to get referrals from yet. We teach a way to present or to generate leads via lead generation, typically through direct mail. It's old-fashioned, but it works incredibly well. In some circumstances, depending on the product like Medicare, we can do telemarketed leads. Or maybe perhaps seminar marketing is another way, where you do an educational seminar, you generate leads from those, and then you turn those into presentations, which turn into sales. So you got to have something. Which one is it? Doesn't matter to me. In some cases it does. I'll say there's better ones in certain businesses than others. But you got to find the one that works for you. and take some advice from pros who've done it before, and then implement, execute, take action, and consistently follow that system. Number two is you got to have a sales training process in your focus. And now I said a little bit ago, it's not as important as lead generation. To me, lead generation is key. You can be mediocre at sales and do well if you consistently have new people to see, but you do need to know what you're doing. You do need to know how to develop and establish rapport and trust with your prospects. You got to know how to pre-qualify. You got to be able to figure out if this person is a qualified prospect, somebody who fits your criteria for buying, or if they're an unqualified suspect, somebody who, despite maybe showing signs of interest, has some sort of condition that you can't break and won't therefore buy. You got to know how to present what you're saying in an educational, non-threatening manner so you can see, so your client can see, future client, that you're somebody to trust, that you know what you're talking about, you have the expertise, and your product's superior to the alternatives. And you got to know how to ask for the deal. You got to know how to handle objections because they're going to come up. And you got to know how to positively close in a way that's going to keep business on the books. These are things that you got to learn. Again, not as important as lead generation, but a good understanding and process that is proven to work is very important. Number three, you got to have some sort of coaching and mentorship access as well. This is big in my organization. This isn't a pitch for you to work with me. If you like the idea, contact me, of course, and I can show you what I can do. But either way, if you work somewhere else, you got to find an organization that somebody above you is going to help you out. They're going to do ride-alongs, take your phone calls, key you into some kind of training, and then answer questions as you're actively participating in a field. More importantly, to be asking those questions by way of actually taking action, not being overly concerned about the details before you even take the first step out the door. But you want somebody to be in your corner, help you with underwriting questions, help you with sales questions, lead questions, somebody you can rely on, preferably someone with experience. And number four, I think this is pretty important for the newer agents. Maybe not so much if you've had some time in the field, but I'm a big believer in a singular product focus for brand spanking new agents. What I mean by that is you can't be everything to everybody, okay? You can't be the kind of agent that I'm going to sell annuities, final expense, Medicare supplements, cancer insurance, and I've never sold my first policy. I've not had a little bit of experience in the field. Why is that the case? Because, man, like knowing that much knowledge about 4 different products and all the carriers and all the underwriting and all the mentality that goes along with it is overwhelming. And you'll find you'll be paralyzed by analysis, paralysis by analysis, if you will, and you won't take the first step out the door. Whereas if you start with one product, the kind that you like the best, that makes sense for you the most, and focus on finding people that fit that profile, you'll develop a laser-like focus to get good at one thing. And as you develop your skills in that product, then add on other products as you see fit, if you even get to that point. I know many agents that don't do anything other than annuities or final expense or Medicare supplements. So you don't have to cross-sell. You can. It sounds good, but many times you're just fine doing one thing and one thing only. But the key thing here, guys, the key takeaway here is don't get overly concerned if you got to do everything to everybody. Listen, you can sell a product for 6 or 12 months, go back and see these people on reviews, and then sell them the annuity, sell them the Medicare supplements. But you got to have some kind of footing where you become an expert. It's hard to become an expert in everything. And because different products appeal to different people, and it's just as much as about becoming an expert in one product as it is about becoming an expert in a marketplace and understanding the behavior of the people that you're dealing with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I do videos like this 4 days a week, typically, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. And our videos all about helping insurance agents, new and experienced like you, learn how to successfully sell insurance. If you've got comments, leave them. If you like this video, thumbs it up. And other than that, buy the books, right? Anyways, thank you guys for joining. Dave Duford's the name. DavidDuford.com is the website. We'll see you next time.